So my expertise, my background is in teaching language arts. So what I want to do is talk about what kinds of things can you do over the summer to reinforce language arts. So let's talk about first penmanship and phonograms. So let's talk about preschoolers for a moment, preschool to first grade. You're starting teaching penmanship, you're starting teaching them about the phonograms. Maybe they know how to read their letters. So what can you do over the summer? Well, this is a perfect time to get into the messy media, things that might take a little bit more time on cleanup, that during the normal school year when you're rushing and you're trying to get lessons done with Big Brother and you're like, I just don't want to deal with the mess with the little preschooler. The summertime offers a great opportunity to get into some of that messy stuff that the kids absolutely love. So messy, I'm talking about finger paints, shaving cream, put out a mat and put some shaving cream on it, and let the kids practice their phonograms, practice their penmanship and shaving cream. Play-Doh, I mean, preschoolers love Play-Doh, and be sure to put out a mat, and they can form their phonograms, they can be shaping them, things like that. So some of the more messy things, summertime is a great time for that. Go outside. The summertime is a wonderful time. Go outside with sidewalk chalk and use the summer as an opportunity to get the penmanship skills in place so that when you are ready to start your lessons with spell to write and read in the fall, penmanship is already in place. When I teach in my co-ops, one of the reasons that I don't teach the youngest grades is because penmanship, it just depends on who you're teaching, the child, and how quickly they pick it up. But it's a very personal pacing, and it's hard to it's hard, once school gets going, okay, now we're having to do penmanship, and I thought we were going to get into spelling, and now I'm still working on penmanship. Do that over the summer. And then when you come back in the fall, your child is ready to be able to just jump right into the spelling and the reading lessons. So another thing, and summer is great for this, brush and a bucket of water out on the sidewalk, and have the children practice writing their phonograms. Again, large motor, we always want to start with large motor, and practice writing with water on the sidewalk. And the summer is great because it's warm, and so those phonograms are going to evaporate, and so the kids have to be able to write quickly, and that's going to help reinforce. And I'll tell you, it is a lot of fun to have them be able to do that outside. When you're teaching preschoolers, even during the summer, I said this before when I talked about preschoolers, keep your sessions short but frequent. So maybe you're going to have with a preschooler 2 or 3 little sessions over the day. Maybe you're going to play and you'll show them a couple phonograms and they'll be with you, and then 5 minutes later they want to look at the ladybugs and off they go, and then maybe you're going to sit down and have some read aloud time, and then maybe you can do a little bit more phonograms before you have your picnic lunch. And preschoolers don't have long attention spans, and so you want to work short but frequent sessions with them. Okay, so let's say, this is another fun one. Let's say that you are working on some phonograms, and you have a little one that just can't seem to remember a phonogram. Okay, they just, I remember on the Yahoo group one time, we had a mommy who said, my daughter just cannot remember the letter G. Now, of course, we don't say that. We say G. Okay, so we don't use letter names. Again, go back and listen to the talk that I did on teaching phonograms so you can understand why. But let's say that that's the phonogram that your child is struggling with. Okay, this is what you do. You have a g day. Okay, you have a g day. And so what you do is you write that letter on 3x5 cards, or cut the 3x5 cards in half, and so you have little half-size cards, and write that on like 20 cards. Okay, just that letter on 20 cards. And then you hide them all around the house. Or maybe you hide them in your backyard if you want to go outside and have a scavenger hunt. Okay, and so you hide them, and then the kids can come in, and the child is working on that particular phonogram. This is what you do. And you say, okay, I have 20 cards, and your job is to go find them. Now, if you're in the house, you can have some really creative places to hide them. Like, for example, the cabinet under the sink, you open the door and there it is stuck to the inside of the door. You could put it on under the toilet seat lid. All kinds of places. Hide the cards. And during the course of the day, that if you're doing it in the house or if you're doing it outside, say, okay, I'm going to give you such and such amount of time and go find all of the cards. And every single time the child finds that card, they run to you with the card and they say, look, mommy, I found gotcha. And you say, yay. And if you have refrigerator magnets, you can say, okay, now go put it on the refrigerator. And now tell me again, what did you find? Gotcha. I promise you, after that child finds 20 cards and tells you every single time, I found gotcha, they will know that phonogram. They will know that phonogram. And maybe if you want to combine penmanship with that, you could have a whiteboard and say, every time you find a card, that's fantastic. Now go write it on the whiteboard. And you could have a grid with boxes, and they fill it in one of the boxes. And as soon as they have all the boxes filled in, they know they found all the cards. So that way they're getting penmanship practice as well. So that's just an idea. If you've got a phonogram that just is kind of sticking, play games, play bingo. You know, during the school year, we tend to kind of push games to the side because, they take so much time. But you know what? What if my lesson today, what if my phonogram lesson today is a game? That's what we do. It's summertime. So let's have some fun. Let's do something different than what we normally do. Hopefully you are playing games during the year, but let's play games. And we have the Phonogram Fun Packet. We have games on our website for telling time, math, geography. We have some amazing, wonderful packets of games that you can play. But you can just play games around the house. You can do all kinds of very, very simple things around your house. The goal by teaching the kindergartners, preschoolers, first graders is that by the time you are ready to start spelling, you can dictate a phonogram and they will know how to write it. They won't stop and say, I don't remember how to write that. Where do I start? You know, they will be able to write from your dictation, so you can get right into the spelling lesson. Okay, what about second grade and above? If you're transitioning to cursive, then use the summer as a time to work on that skill. The research shows that when you're working with a student and you're transitioning, an older student transitioning to cursive, their writing skills revert back to first grade level. So during the school year, let's say you're working with a third grader, okay, and you want to transition to cursive. Okay, so their penmanship skills now are going to revert to first grade level. And in third grade, we're working on writing. We're developing paragraphs. We're really trying to move beyond penmanship, and we're trying to teach them how to write, how to compose ideas. And so why don't we use the summer as a time to work on that penmanship skill so that when we hit the ground running in September, they've got penmanship, they can write in cursive, and it's more automatic, and they're back up to speed as far as their writing skills. So use the summer as a time to teach those skills. What are some things that they can, once you establish how to write in the cursive, you get through, okay, here's how to write the letters, and then they need to practice. What do you want to do? First of all, remove the visual cue. You do not want to provide for them examples of the cursive writing, because then they're relying on the visual cue. So just have them copy a Bible verse, or maybe a poem, or maybe other quotes from famous literature. If you have the Wise Guide is one of the teacher books in the Spell to Write and Read program. It is filled with wonderful quotes, passages from the Bible that use the spelling words. If you've been using the program, pull out some of those sentences that the kids had this last year with their spelling words and have them practice writing their cursive with just a passage, a simple little passage, and they can be practicing every day, just for the purpose of penmanship. And then by the time you get started in September, they will be ready with that skill. And I will tell you, when you're working with older kids, we tend to kind of push penmanship aside and say, I just don't have time to work on that. Let's say you have a fifth grader that's really struggling, and cursive is probably one of the keys that's going to unlock it for him. And so work on cursive over the summer, and then you're going to see an improvement in his reading and writing skills. you know, fifth grade, you're doing a lot more, and you don't have as much time to work on penmanship. So use the summer as a chance to do that.